Welcome to our living room, and today we have a surprise for you because we're doing our first in-person couples retreat in 16 months. So, a couple minutes you'll get to see everyone. But I wanted to share a story about listening. Last week also I shared about listening, and this is another listening story because listening is such an important part of relationship, whether it's the couple relationship or the relationship with your child, your parent, your good friend, your nieces, your nephews. Listening. So a long time ago, when Barry and I were 27, we decided that we would take off for a year and a half and travel. And it was to be a real deep time of inner growth. We had been in school up until then. And so it's the first time that we had taken time. So we decided as part of our taking time that we would travel to the East Coast and visit our relatives that we had hardly seen because the medical school and residency, graduate schools just took up so much time. So we got in our little VW bus, which is where we lived for a year and a half, and we first traveled to Buffalo to my relatives. My relatives are Swedish, very quiet people. And they heard about our taking off all this time, and they're very polite, and they're like, mm-hmm. That's about all they said. And, they're just very quiet. So then we traveled to Barry's family, and all of his relatives are from Brooklyn. And Barry's mom and there's a lot of them. Barry's mom had all the relatives from Brooklyn come to her house. And still very nice people, just like my relatives, but they're really loud. And they all talk at the same time. And they all had opinions about what we were doing. And in these loud voice, especially to Barry, not to me, but, Barry, what are you doing? You're a doctor now. You can make a lot of money. This is a waste of your time. And this kind of a thing, on and on and on. Mm-hmm. And we ended up just sitting by ourselves in the corner, and they went, they forgot about us. And Barry has this sweet, sweet Uncle Ralph, who's no longer on the earth, but he came over to us, this little man with dark glasses, and he said, "Come on in the other room. I want to hear about your trip. I want to hear about what you're doing." And for 1 hour, he asked very few questions, but he listened so deeply. And he started out, "But just tell me, what are you doing?" So we told him, and then he said, "Well, what are your greatest hopes?" We told him. And the beautiful thing is that he listened. He listened to every word. He listened to Barry. He listened to me. And then at the end, he said, "I don't think I'd ever do that, what you're doing, but I admire you for taking this risk." And he was the only one that listened. I mean, my relatives were very sweet, but they didn't really want to know about it. Barry's relatives were very loud and opinionated. But this one uncle, Uncle Ralph, he really listened. And it was such a gift to two young people who were unsure about what we were doing and at the same time trying to follow our hearts. So the challenge I'm giving to all of us is to give that gift to others. Really, really, really deeply listen as a beautiful act of love. So now you get to see our whole group and hear Barry's beautiful song.
Okay. And we have a guest musician. Dan, get up here. I always had a secret wish to be in a band. Okay, here's my band. Okay, so Uncle Ralph, he asked, what are you doing? What are you really wanting to do? And here's the answer, okay, in the words of this song. I stand for love, stronger, stronger. I pray for peace with all of my soul. I stand for love, stronger and stronger. I pray for peace with all of my soul. I stand for love, stronger and stronger. I pray for peace with all of my soul. I stand for love, stronger and stronger. I pray for peace with all of my soul. I stand for love, stronger and stronger. I pray for peace with all of my soul. I stand for love, stronger and stronger. I pray for peace with all of my soul. So let's all make a stand, okay, for love in our lives. That's all we need to do. Just stand for love. Like whatever's happening, how can I stand right now for love? How can I make a stand for love? All right? Thanks for watching.
And I encourage everyone, maybe call someone that you haven't spoken to in a long time, maybe reach out and ask them how they're doing. And then really, really listen. It's a beautiful gift.
Yeah. And look, I don't have to jump up and turn off the camera.
Yeah.
It's going to be done for us.
And we're loving having this group in our home. It's so special.
All right.
Beautiful, beautiful people came.
Mwah.